Test, test, test. Hello, I hope everybody is okay today. Today is January 10th, Friday, and we're going to be working today with AI agents, building with AI agents. As you know, I've been on a journey of understanding better how we can build better with UI and better UIs and systems with AI, artificial intelligence systems. This is day 3. I'm not that knowledgeable on streaming mechanisms, but I'm doing my best. I think that I need to look at the camera better and do other things, but regardless, for today we have a challenge, or we have a clear outcomes we want to achieve. The first one is our application. It's a meal planner application that I built because I wanted to solve for a problem. Was that we were having kind of like the wrong systems to do meal planning at home. It's a very simple project, but I wanted to see how far can I go building the application without any coding intervention. So I've been using different AI agent and LLM techniques, prompt engineering, and simple context setting to help then Claude inside Replit to build the application. So far we have made a lot of progress, and today we have 3 goals we want to accomplish. First one is to have a better weekly view of meals, and the second one is going to be to allow the family members to select the or influence the menus that are going to be set. Finally, we will be showing or showcasing a little bit of the deployment Replit provides, on how the application is live and online and can be used anytime. So yeah, let's get started. I have this new method of having myself a little bit transparent in the screen. Let me know. We'll check it out to see if it looks good. I think that is less intrusive like this. Okay, so what we have here is that I didn't have a starting stream or breaking animation, and what I did for the intro of the stream, and what I did was I actually created ask the agent, the assistant, to create one for me. So I have one for starting soon. Very clunky. I don't like the part of like the points, and we can work on making it better. And we have another one that is for the taking a short break. So when I'm taking a break, this animation will appear, and it's a little bit, it's using too much space. It's kind of like taking the whole screen, but still it's pretty fun. But that's not what it's gonna keep us busy today. Let me see if I can help myself here with one thing that I'm missing from this scene, and is my text. Let me see if I can just copy it and paste it on another scene. And yes, so what we have here is what are the goals for today. And what we have for today is we are going to be working on updated recipes from meals, create recipes from images of cookbooks, and allow family to dictate the menu. Yeah, let's work on that. So let's get started from a fresh chat, and let's think through the problem. Let me go to the main family dashboard, and there is we're having issues right away with recipes not defined. Seems like there is a bug from yesterday. But let's see what's going on. It says that recipe is not defined, and you don't see. Seems like it's coming from the home component. Let's check out what's going on. It says that recipe is not defined. And I try to make my screen larger so we can see things better. I can also move the web view to use this one here, and yeah, we have the same error here. So it says that recipe is not defined on line 28. So it says here, oh, this is where we are having issues. So this whole block, I'll have to say, refactor it. So, and I'm using this inline assistant for these minor bugs that I know where they are located. And yeah, I'm working with the UI to make it work with the AI. Sorry, I keep saying UI and I mean AI. Okay, now it's using the meal recipes that is coming from the recipes filter correctly, and it's using the recipe description and title. Let's accept this. And this should actually deal with the problem. Let's check this out. Yes. Okay, so now we have the today's meal appearing correctly. We have the dressing recipes and the meal plan for today. if I go to the meal plan today, there is something here. We're going to be working a lot on this weekly view. I found it very, very, very confusing that I cannot show it. It needs to highlight which day is today. I found like a lot of inspiration from the Google Calendar view. I don't know what other applications have good calendar experience, but the Google Calendar has its own good things. So the idea that I have is I want to have the calendar view to work a little bit like you have lanes for each meal type, right? So this will be breakfast, this will be lunch, will be dinner, and you can have others. And then what you have here is the days of the week. So you have Sunday, Monday, and everything else, right? Tuesday. And what I want is that each recipe appears like a card inside this. So if there are no cards, then it just appears as an empty that with an option to add screens. But if there are many recipes, let's say you might have like a big family dinner on a Sunday, you might have like 2, and you might have like an option to see more. And because you might have like, if you have more than X number, you will say 3 or more recipes this day, and you will have to have like some sort of like meal view that shows you meal view. Yeah, meal view. My writing is horrible. I don't know how Pirate does this, but I'm gonna try to accomplish this with the UI. Is that each one of the meals has its own lane. Each one of the days has, it's their own column, and that if two recipes are in a day, they are visible. If more than 2 are visible, that you say show a meal view that showcases the meals, the recipes for a meal. Okay, that's the game plan. So let's start here. And in this case, I'm going to use the agent that is the automated developer. And this agent is able to deal with more complexity. The assistant from Replit, I found it's very good for very on-point tasks. And it's very good for like, refactoring and things like that. At the moment you start to add more complex issues, it lacks the context. So the agent is very good for large context and for complete features. So the prompt I'm gonna mention is I want to see the weekly meal planning as a table that keeps all meals of the same type in the same row, and that I can see up to 2 recipes per meal. In case of having more than 2, then show the number of recipes and allow the user to navigate to a meal view that will show all the recipes for a given meal. Keep in mind to add a new markdown file in the what is the name of the folder? I think it's agents. Folder. I have been, with this one, I have to be a little bit more concise. I think that some of the rules I want to add into the agents markdown folder. So yeah, but I have had issues where the agent, this one specifically, deletes files because it kind of lacks context correctly, or it starts to yeah, trip. So I'm now taking some caution here. So let's go and see how this goes. So in the meantime, while this is working, this is going to take some time. I want to show you another thing that I've been working on the side. Yesterday, I wanted to give it a try to the Vercel V0 builder. V0 started like on top of ShadCN as a way to generate React components, like already pre-built blocks that you could reuse, like copy paste to your application, and it was all prompt driven, right? So you will set up a prompt, and it will build the whole thing. So one of the things I wanted to do was I wanted to create a incremental clicker game where and I thought about like, okay, which ideas come to mind, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna do a very topical game, a clicker game, where it's from buying GPUs to develop AGI. So what I've been doing is putting like a bunch of prompting, helping develop the game mechanics using the AI as a game developer, game designer kind of thing. And I used all the free prompts from Vercel V0 to get up to the point where we are now. And the game is very interesting, but it has some problems. I actually shared the game on Reddit and to get some feedback, and it got crushed within reason. I think that I'm not game designer. I wanted to build an incremental builder game for a long time, and this is a good opportunity to see if there is any way to leverage the AI to build a game like this. So this is kind of the basic interface. I will not show you more than that because I think we need to work on a different version. But this is kind of like another thing that I've been working in the afternoons while I'm not streaming about Wendell. Okay, let's go back to Replit. What this is telling me is, okay, I implemented a weekly meal planning table view with meal type rows and the columns showing up to 2 recipes per meal with navigation to detailed meal view. What else do we want? Oh yeah, add drag and drop functionality for recipe rearrangement within the table. Yes, I will love that. And implement meal nutrition tooltips, add filter options for the entire preference in the meal view. Meal plan templates. Oh, I think that there are a couple of great ideas happening here that we can add that are like print friendly version and meal plan templates. I think that the templates, I would love to have the AI to generate the templates for me. So I will be kind of like agent driven, and this is kind of as we go deeper and build workflows, I will work on having the an AI agent just generate the meal plans for me based on some questions that it knows about me. So yeah, let's approve the plan and let the AI do the work. Let me check how is the chat. Okay, this is still working. Yeah. Uh, the other day I was applying for a new job. And one of the things that happened was that I got scheduled, I like reached out by a CEO bot, some sort of like LinkedIn automated message that it says that you are being contacted by the CEO of a company, but at the end of the day is actually just a bot. And I got scheduled to connect with this bot that I didn't know was a bot for end of year, December 31st. And I was like, oh man, that was a day off. But they said, okay, you can, are you available? I was like, sure, I am. Why not? It sounded like very interesting from an AI company, very recently raised Series A, and I was like, okay, this sounds interesting. And ended up happening that I joined the company, the company invitation, the meeting from the CEO, and the CEO never showed up. And then I sent a message saying like, oh man, life happens. I'm so sorry. If you want, we can reschedule. And I got an automated response that I didn't know it was an automated response, telling me that they were available the next day, the day after. That means January 1st at 9:30 a.m. And I was like, oh, this is very weird, but okay, I can find some time to meet with you. Thank you for reaching out again. Lo and behold, I show up again on January 1st, and the CEO didn't show up. And 4 days later, or 3 days later, someone wrote me back from the same company telling me, oh, I'm sorry, you were actually hitting an interview with a virtual CEO. So the actual CEO was not going to be in the meeting, it was going to be a virtual CEO. And yeah, something happened, you shouldn't have been scheduled for that. I was like, oh man, that sucks. That sucks that it was not clear from the invitation that you were actually giving me an interview with a virtual CEO. And I don't mind having an interview like that, but man, be clear, right? But okay, it is what it is. Now, let's back to business. Let me fix that. Seems like the agent is done. Let's see what's going on. Let's see if everything is working. There was a bunch of changes. It says I'll sign the existing database schema. I'll create the meal plan table component. I'll implement the meal and row and day column structure, add a recipe logic, create a detail view, mail view component, add navigation between the table and the detail view, document the business logic in a new markdown file. Where is the markdown file? Yeah, here. What it says the markdown file. Let me check it out. Meal planning table. It says the meal plan has a data structure, the table features, recipe logic, detail mail view, navigation, implementation guidelines. Okay. Let's see how it works now. Where is the thing that it says? See it? It's another version. I don't see anything here. This is definitely a mistake. So you have the meal plan table. The meal plan cell, meal plan detail view. Yeah. The thing that I don't see is that yeah, I don't see it implemented. So I see that the components used. So when I go up to here is that I said you create the components, but these are not used in the page. So these are net new components. So what I hope is that this meal planner page changes and now includes the new components related to meal planning. And yeah, here are the components, but I don't see them being used. So just reviewing the message. This one is much more slower, this agent, much more slower than the assistant, because it has to kind of like do a whole lot of things to make it happen. And this one actually just pushes the changes directly. It doesn't give me a chance to review changes. It just goes for it, which, you know, works for me. Oh, there you go. Now we have the view. What I notice is that the weekdays are not, I can see only, let me see if I make the screen a little bit smaller. Oh, I see. Okay. I don't like that the tables are taking so long, are too big, and so it's making things much harder to see. We will have to work on that. And the scroll, it's taking too long, too much space. The scroll bar is not working. So yeah, that's something to check. There is another thing here, is that supposedly there was kind of some drop down, drag and drop thing, but I cannot change. So we have a good start. I think it's taking too much space. I have to scroll horizontally. I don't want to do that, and I can't edit. Okay, so I think the best thing to do here, and I think we are getting to a point, we're almost there. We will need to work with the assistant now. What we're going to do with the assistant is I'm going to select the components for the meal planner. I'm going to use the play, this one. I'm going to say the meal planner table is scrolling horizontally. go. Okay, this is getting okay. It's using React DND. The thing that we have is that React DND I don't think is installed. See if it's gonna come with something. And the table here is, I am not sure if React DND is inside the packages. I don't think so. I'm gonna tell it. Now we have the AD&D. We have to install all these components dependencies. Now this, let's retry this request. There you go. Now let me rerun this. Ifs. Let's see how this works. Let's go back. Running. If I can connect. Oh, interesting. Okay. Oh, it's giving me an error. It says handle recipe to Atmel is not defined. It seems like it added some, but now let me go to the assistant and I'll say and it's coming from meal planner lines 143. So one thing that it keeps bothering me of using these tools is again the lack of context, and that we have to, you know, look at this. Like, how is that missing a function ends up being 40 something lines of code, you know? And it seems like this is a whole hook. One thing that I don't like is this. I love to refactor this part later on, ask to refactor, but okay, let's apply this and see if the application comes back to function correctly. Let me see. Go back to meal planner view. Oh, it's a bit wording here. Okay, so now we have the meal planner view. We can click to add new recipes. I'm gonna select the Cobb salad. I'm gonna select the classic cheeseburger for this day. Oh, it's not being added. Where is it? It's adding it to the wrong place. What? Oh, it's adding it in the wrong place. Okay. Well, this became too complicated. Where is the day view? I can see all days, which is great. Let's add one recipe here. It's not adding the recipes. Am I dreaming? It's giving me like, yes, I am working on this, but nothing is changing. What? What an interesting curveball. Okay. It's kind of doing what it needs to do. It's not there yet. All the recipes are being stored inside the same place. And it's opening this kind of model for the day. I would love it to be more like a single day, single meal kind of thing. So I'm gonna check if there is any way we can make this happen. Seems like all the meals are being stored the same day. Everything I'm adding same day. So yeah. That's a big problem. Seems like my understanding from the problem is that the data is being stored improperly and is being displayed improperly. I wanted to be able, and that day view is not working as we wanted to. You know, now we have these two models. I'm gonna just break this apart to make it a whole its own page. Makes no sense. Or, oh, you know what? You know this one thing that slides from the side? There is a Shadcn component for that. Let me find it. Yeah, the component that I like from that collapsible. No, I think it's called. And Shadcn, shout out to Shadcn. It's been such a, it's not sooner. I think it's shit. Yeah, this one. Maybe we can have the day view like this instead of a model. The sheet from Shadcn. Show. I like the recipes to show from the right. I like that interaction more than a model, right? Models feel so clunky. And I wanted to move things around. Now I can't. I want to. Okay. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put a pause here, and we'll as always, this is a reminder. What we are aiming for here is oh, there you go. What we're aiming for here is I am building an application using AI tools only. We are working on a meal planning application that I'm doing for my family so we can have better meal planning. The application has many features we have worked so far. We have worked on a recipe creation system that allows me to create new recipes from prompting and manual creation and image uploading that I'll showcase later on. Next thing is that we have a shopping list system that still working. We need to make it better. And the next thing is that we have a family dashboard that allows me to add family members and dietary preferences. And so the idea would be that at the end, the most value we receive is that you will have a good meal planning system that generates a shopping list at any given time. And that shopping list will kind of mix together all your recipes based on your dietary preferences and tells you how to make it work. So what I'm going to do now is I'm gonna pause. I'll be right back. I'm back. We are gonna keep working on this weekly view that is not that nice, but it will get better, I promise. I'm gonna use a newly created break window, and yeah, right back. I'm back. Thank you for being here and checking it out. I'm back from my lunch break. I can prep another scene that is better. I know I'm here with the other camera. Yeah, I was having some lunch, eating some salmon and rice, and having my now natural afternoon chocolate. I only eat since maybe 12 months ago. I switched to eat only dark chocolate, high dark chocolate, 70% or more. I normally go for 75 or 80% chocolate, and it's been great for me. My brain just, gets some the benefits of some chocolate properties. I know Brian Johnson talks a lot about chocolate as well. I started eating chocolate before Brian Johnson recommended that. So just for context. Okay, so we're going to pick up where we left. Let me switch my screen. I don't know why the Replit stopped running because I was kind of like doing something here. I don't know why it's telling me that it's not working anymore. Let me check the Replit. Let me switch my screen. This one here. Let's run this. And where we left was that the meal planner view. I'm thinking of adding or checking there is a UI test that Sahil has been sharing. I think it's called short test. Let me find it. There you go. This is the one. Where you have a QA with natural language. You can see on GitHub. And they have been working on this recently, very interestingly. So it seems like you will add it. You have callback functions, lifecycle hooks, API tests, running tests, CI/CD setup. I would love to know if I can run this locally. That would be interesting, or actually see if there's any way. I mean, it's all using Playwright and Anthropic Cloud API, of course. It uses the Anthropic API key, the base URL, and then you will just use the shortest to define the work. Interestingly, so this is too complicated, to be honest. I was hoping something easier, but yeah, I think that this is something we might need to add. I do believe that people might be interested in using more something like natural language for QA. I think that might be interesting. We can check it out later on to see if there is anything we can do to use it. But, for you, if you're interested, short test, doing that. So, going back to my application, let me open the web view in a new tab. What we have here so far, remember, we're building a meal planning application. I've been working on this application without coding one single line. All I've been doing is pushing requirements to a Replit agent and doing code reviews and helping navigate and debug the issues. What we're aiming to do today is going to be to have a matrix view of the days of the week and the different meals in a day, And what we want to achieve is that we can manage manually, like drag and drop recipes, see like a more detailed daily recipe view, and you know, have that done. The next thing we wanted to do was I wanted to showcase the ability to create a recipe from a cookbook picture. And finally, the other part that I wanted to do was that recipes and meal plans could be influenced by family preferences, dietary preferences. But I am not sure I'm going to accomplish all of that at the same time today. What is coming is we're going to check where are we. So in the meal planner, now we have this part that shows me extra recipes. We have the meal view. This meal view inside a model is something I don't like. I'm gonna see if we can create a page for the meal view, and or even a day view that has all the days more clearly, that we can see it easily. I think that if we think as a user, I think the user might care more about the day and less about more about the meal itself and less about the day. I think the weekly view the user can deal with the day view as it is. So first thing I will do, I'm gonna ask that it keeps all the rows of the same width. So I'm gonna new chat. I'm gonna say make all the columns in the meal planner to be the same. And the more specific is always your prompt, the easier it is for the assistant to pick it up. You know, when you have to add too many things, it makes things more complicated. So let me preview the changes. What it's doing is mostly fixing up the width and making a min-max and forcing the width. It seems like it's pretty reasonable. It's restarting. It's partially working. It's not fully working. I still can see incorrect. Let me see if I can let me move this to the side. Is there anything we can do? Make this. If I dock this to the right, I might need to deal with scrolling and the days. I'm gonna tell it that the recipe cell is not. The cell is not I'm gonna tell it like this. The content of the meal cell is expanding the size of the column. The content of the recipe is trimmed with the name. Wraps if the name is too long, and trim it if it exceeds 200 characters. In this case, what we're doing mostly is like working as almost UI developer, PMs, telling it little by little what to do. Each one of these is kind of almost like a ticket. As I work in software, I've been working in software for 20 years. this is what normally becomes one ticket that is, discussed during stand up, and then one of the developers is just going to pick up that ticket and work on it. It's going to take them half a day between CI and reviews to make it happen. Something happened with the agent. Seems like it got stuck. So I'm stopping it and starting again. Okay, now I'll pick it up. I have to pause this agent. Oh, this was having issues. You cannot have the agent running at the same time as the assistant is working. By the way, something that I didn't check before is where do we start, where are we finishing? We start at $12.92. At the end of the session, we are going to see where do we end in terms of a number of dollars to spend today in the session. Pausing of the agent is taking a little expected. Agent is now paused. I can go back to the, I'm going to preview the changes. I'm going to apply it. And let's see what happens here. This is not running. It is running. I think that I will need to make this shorter than 200. I think it might be better if it's normally when I have to add these small changes, I don't want to spend a trip to the LLM to just do these like simple changes. I will normally try to think of side features that will help to take advantage into the request, because remember, each request costs. In this case, it changed the value of the slice, and then it added the primary change to highlight the date. So as the changes are applied, and remember one thing, I don't know if you know, but all this code lives inside a repository that I have in GitHub, and I can actually, all changes that we have done are pushed into this repository that you can see in GitHub called Wendell AI. And this repository has been all written by agents, and it contains all things. I haven't pushed the latest. Let me push everything that has not been pushed. Let's push it. Confirm this session. Let's sync with remote. Okay, Git just decided to quit. That's okay. We can continue later on. Let me go back to here. Let's check the mail planner. Oh, this is horrible. This is so horrible. I have to tell it that the highlight was completely horrible. And the 20 actually make things much easier. Yeah. French toast pecans. I wanted that it just goes back. Now it's allowing me to add recipes in a day, which is great. The thing that is happening though is that it's adding all the recipes to an existing thing. So I'm going to tell it that it's adding, when adding a new recipe, this is horrible. But when adding a new recipe, is adding it to, let me see what happens. Okay, that one is a problem here. So we have a bug here that we're gonna try to ask it to solve. So we have a bug in which the user when the user adds a new recipe to the weekly view of the meal planner, the recipe is being added to the first meal of the first day instead of added to the selected day. It's possible that the model to add recipe is not receiving the right ID. No, I don't even know. What could possibly cause this bug? And what's a solution? I'm thinking of having something like a voice controller that will make things much faster. And the other thing I'm considering is, can I have two agents work side by side? So while this is working, I can work on others. Let me apply this change and see if this fixes it. I think that it's interesting. Yeah, I imagine that was the part where the handle of adding the recipe was not doing it correctly. Let's check. So we want a recipe added on today. Today's breakfast, today's dinner. Let's add the classic secret burger here. Oh, now we have another problem. And the problem is coming back from the API. So if I make this call again, the problem that is happening here is that at least one meal type must be specified. So I have the days, day Monday, and created at, and Friday, Sunday, and whenever the week starts and ends. But when the request is sent, it's not adding the recipes. You can see the recipes are an object for Tuesday, and for Thursday, it's correct. So there is one day that is this Tuesday's recipes is empty. It does not contain anything. The other ones contains everything. And the response is at least one meal type must be specified. So I'm gonna take this raw and I'm gonna make it an error. In this one, we're going to test out how the UI is, how the LLM, Claude in this case, is reading the JSON content, checking the schemas, checking the APIs, and identifying exactly what is the issue. Seems like what I noticed was the same thing, is that Tuesday is sending an object instead of an array, and it's empty. So let's see what was the proposed plan. It's updating the logic and ensure that at least one is present. Let's apply this. I think we might need to refactor all this logic at some point to move it out of this. It makes things much more complicated. Okay, so let's try it out. Let's add dinner for today. A classic cheeseburger. It is not added in the right place. Let me add caramelized onions. It keeps adding the recipes in the wrong place. So let me go back and check what is the problem. So I'm gonna add one for caramelized onions here. I'm gonna get the put, and the request is actually sending the value into the wrong place. So it seems like the day is not being set correctly. We might need to start over this whatever is happening here, because the request is not being set properly. It's not being set correctly. So I'm gonna tell this as a bug, as a bug, and see if we can. I know what the solution might be, but I can't intervene. I can't code it. This is the place where I think I know what the error is, but I can't go to the agent and tell it, because the idea is that I don't code anything. I just tell the AI agent what to do. I don't need to code things. I just have some expertise about the topic, but I don't touch the code directly. So this is what I'm gonna tell it. In this case, what we have is, this handle select recipe, it's very convoluted. It's very convoluted. It's not making the things that it's doing. It's kind of like this type of thing that makes things harder and harder every time. So this is kind of reworking the same idea. Let's see if this fixes the issue. I am pretty sure it's not going to fix it. This is very convoluted. I might ask that we refactor this part of the application to make it simpler. but let's test it out. So if you see, my work on this project is as a PM QA tester most of the time. I am not coding anything, I'm just telling it I'm waiting. Something happened here. Why it's now showing me to why is Bitwarden is acting up? I don't like it. Okay. Oh yeah, it was Bitwarden being silly. Okay, let's test out then if I can add my dinner I want to eat today. And the freaking cheeseburger is keep being added to the wrong place. Okay, so there is a problem here. So I'm gonna add this and say, please clean up and the planner page and I'm gonna first start by breaking this into pieces. Divide and conquer. I have to say thank you to everybody that we connected for the last couple hours. Appreciate it. Oh. Okay, what came to a meal planner? Generate meals data, existing meals, find current week plan, get week boundaries. Interesting. Then the meal planner, format start of the week, meals are out. This is completely remove handle recipe. Now meals data, generate meal data, update meal plan, and selected day, selected meal. This is great. Okay, now it makes things a little bit more simpler. I love that. Let's check this. Format is undefined. Now we have another issue, and this is something that how do you, I mean, doesn't data finesse has a format function? Yes. Do I still need format here? Okay. Now let's see if we can add a cheeseburger here. There you go. So this is the magic. We struggle adding more and more and more and more and more and more context to the same problem. And what we were dealing was with complexity, inherent complexity of a file that was for having too many things done in one single place. By abstracting out and asking the agent to abstract out this functionality, this problematic functionality, to a different file. Now it had the opportunity to think about the best way to deal with the actions that that file was dealing with. So far, so good. Let me see if I can add a second one here. Yes, that's great. Let me see if I have the daily view. Oh, well, this is the recipe view. I need to fix that. Let me add a third one, the pecan crust French toast. And now that I have more than one, I can now open the daily view, the meal view. So now that we were able to do this part that we wanted to have, like the table view for each one of the meals. One of the things I want to do is completely say that if there are no recipes planned, when you click, you open the selected recipe. But if you have recipes already, you will open up the day view, and you will be able to delete and add new recipes from that day view. And I think I'm going to make it a page. So let's make this a new chat, and I'm going to say when a meal cell contains a recipe, create a new page for the meal where a user can see the list of selected recipes and remove recipes or add new ones. Make sure the name of the day and the date are present, and move the model from the meal planner, and instead tag the user to this page if the meal cell does not have any recipes. Open the recipe model, but if it has recipes, take the user to the new meal page. Let's see how this goes. This, I think, is going to improve the UX by a lot. And you know, the thing that happens here is that you will need to have some sort of knowledge about UX. I have some knowledge. I have a background as graphic designer a long time ago, 10-15 years ago, and also have certain intuition from the products that I've used in the past. So I can kind of talk about it with a little bit more like I can deal with the idea of expressing those ideas of customer UX behavior that fits better how a front-end engineer will think about it when he's coding it. So if you want changes on the front end, you see that I don't talk here about data models. I don't talk here about API changes or validation. I'm focusing specifically on the expected outcome from a UI behavior. It's trying to delete something. I told it not to delete anything. And this component that it's trying to delete is the dialog. And it's trying to delete it. I'm okay. I'll just need to do it myself. And I go back to the agent and see. Let's apply all and see what happens here. I don't think it added the route. So I'll have to add this. I'll have to just repeat this command. In this case, it's adding the view, adding the new route that has the day and the type. I'm going to say yes, apply all, that's okay. Let's see what happens here. Not running this application. Because of the failure, it kind of like stopped automatically running. And there's a problem here. Seems like the detailed one is trying to be imported. So let me show this. Let me check. I just copy paste this and make the UI, the agent just fix it up by itself. The LLMs have been trained in so many cases and blogs and content from this type of problems in Stack Overflow and other places that I don't want it. I don't. Why it's apply this? It's actually creating the file. I don't know why that file is needed anymore. But it seems like it's gonna be the thing that solves the problem. So I'm gonna let it be. Let's click here and says, oh, meal type is undefined. Let's just get the error again. The thing that we need to is share this. And as you can see, the process is always the same. You know, go back and forth, back and forth. I think that this development process is a little bit faster than the regular development process. It's a little bit slow in certain things. I love the error is still there, but now it's in a different place. Let's see where is the place where this is happening. It's line 73. Check in which view, meal view. Where's the meal view? Let me refresh this here. I don't see the latest image context here. Here is the meal view, and it's telling me line 73. Meal type is not defined. Meal type comes from a param. but it's not doing that. If I go to the app and go to the, it's not called meal type. So the problem here is that this is, so I have to tell that the path from the route is the same one that the meal view params. Okay, so I'm gonna ask to close here. I'm gonna go to the previous chat. I'm gonna say so what is happening in this case is that the names are not the same. In the route, it uses type. In the view, it uses meal type. So that's why it was not working as expected. So now this is generating a mismatch. It was not working. And it looks like the AI noticed the same issue. And this is normal issues that a developer will also deal with. Sometimes people think, oh no, this is something like a developer will never have these problems. That's not true. Developers have these problems all the time where they have a name somewhere and there is no easy way to type this down and define exactly what are the parameters that are exposed in path. And then in the other side, you have this part where you type the input, but you do not type params, and params needs to be typed. So it matches whatever is coming from here. So that was the problem. And it's a lack of keeping historical context and understanding how the whole thing is happening. You will hope that LLMs would catch this, because I work on all these problems on the same session, but it didn't. And I think it was because of the error that we had in the middle here, where it kind of shut off the problem, shut off the UI, kind of like had a short circuit or something. And that's what the issue was, and couldn't actually see the error. Okay, so back here, see if this, oh, now we're back to Family Planner. Now if I go to Cobb Salad, okay, this is the thing that is showing me that is loading correctly, but now I don't see any, the UI looks very bad. All these ones have the same thing. And when I go to this one, it looks horrible. I don't like the Back to Meal Planner button to appear there. So let's fix this page. How do we fix this page? So let's add a new chat and let's say, there is something here that is taking up so much space. If you go and check the meal planner has like a container with padding of 8, this padding of 8, and then we have a spacer here. This padding of 8 is going after you have the root, the background, the border. This one is, and the main has a padding of 8. So and then when I go to the day, then we're putting this inside another container that has a this part. I think that we don't need this padding of 8 here. It will make things look nicer. And I would like this Back to Meal Planner just to be the thing is that I don't like that button at all. Why don't I just use the back arrow? Why would I make it differently? Yeah. So I'm gonna say that remove there was an extra container. So I'll say I'm Monday breakfast. There you go. It's adjusted and then the recipes are being accessed. Let's apply both changes. Seems like there was a bug there, but because it should be loading the recipes already, but it wasn't. See if this makes things better. No, recipes are not loading at all. And okay, we have a couple of errors here, but let me see the network. The recipes are being loaded, and the meal plans are loaded, and it's kind of like returning the thing for Monday recipes and the breakfast, and here are all the IDs, but it's not. So this, I like this better. This looks for me like fantastic. Goes here. Okay. So I'm just gonna say the recipes are not visible. I'm gonna create a new chat. I'm gonna kind of move this. So, okay. Things like I wanted to achieve a couple of more things, but we got a shortcut today with the meal view being awful and having issues with the agent today. It was not as productive, even though we have been coding for an hour only. Here is a whole change on the how to get recipe data and how to show it and the cart content. Let's apply this. This looks more like what we needed. Let's see if this does the trick. It's not doing the trick. Oh, it's not showing it. Still not visible. I can see from the network tab the recipes and the meal plan are loading correctly, but the UI is not showing recipes in the meal view. Could be the issue. I haven't checked the code. Maybe the first thing I should have done is check the code. So the meal view, what it's doing is it has these recipe IDs, and the recipe IDs is getting the recipe IDs from the day meal, and the day meal is coming from plan. So there is a plan ID in the meal plans that is getting is finding the meal plan, and it's finding the day in the meal plan, and the day, this day is coming from the parameters, right? The parameters include the day, and let me check the day here. It says Friday, right? The thing that happens here is that yeah, we have the object Friday, and it has and it says, hold on, the day meal, it says, is there a meal type? And the meal type comes from type. So the type is dinner. And if we go and check the data, there is dinner, and dinner has 3 IDs. And from that, we are getting the recipe IDs. And then from the recipe IDs, we're going to a recipe data and checking if the recipe exists. And if so, we show it. The thing that I imagine is that what is becoming problematic is either the recipe IDs are not showing up correctly. So to debug this, I think it's possible. Let me check what the agent said the last time. It says, looking at the view, I see uses recipes hook returns recipes in a different format of work being expected of unique IDs. Yes, okay. I imagine this might be the problem, is that I was thinking about use recipes being problematic. So what happens is that the recipe data, the arrays inside that are a little bit different. And the recipe data itself is returned. The recipe IDs is now 1, and then you have the recipe data coming from another one. Let's apply and see if that's the case. I'm still a little bit skeptic about it. I don't think that's going to be a problem, the solution to the problem, to be honest. Yeah, it's not. It's not. That's not. I'm gonna actually undo these changes. This is not the problem. I think that let's check use recipes. And you can see that the recipes are recipe with ingredients. The return is just an array of recipe with ingredients. And if I go check the recipes return, it's just an array, with recipes. So it's an array with recipes with an ID. So let's go back to the meal planner, to the meal view, and let's go again through the process. Is that the recipe IDs come from that, and then from the recipe IDs you map, and then we go to the recipes data. There you go. That's the problem. Recipes data, use recipes. I'm gonna return it's gonna return. What is it going to return? It's gonna return this. So I needed to use. I know what is. So the meal view is not showing any recipes. Verify that you are using the right data from the use recipes hook and apply, and how the data is parsed in the component. And this is where things become kind of like annoying, is that I know for sure how to fix this problem, but I can't, because of the nature of this challenge, go exactly and put the lines of code. And this is how also you work with junior engineers as a senior staff or principal engineer, or even as a manager that codes. Sometimes you would love to go and say, like, go to a code and fix it. and or you will go and push your own commit on top, but that actually makes things worse. You don't want to do that. You want to give your junior engineers the opportunity to learn better by iterating. So you point on a direction, but you leave the junior engineer an opportunity to make things better. Let's see what is the proposed change here. And we can actually give this a chance to, okay. So is now creating something called recipes. And it's saying recipes is going to take the recipes data, going to reduce it, and it's going to take the recipe ID and iterate through that. And then it's going to just try to find the by recipe ID. So this is converting the array into a map. It will be much easier if instead of doing this, you will do just an array find, and that will solve the issue. Things that because you have this presupposed idea that you will need to access through the dynamic ID like this, like a hash map access, and trying to add a dynamic property access, you will define that it's okay to just refactor, change the shape of the whole recipes data of being an array of recipes and having a filter here to deal with an object. So I'm gonna tell it that I'm gonna say, instead of making the recipes data an object, why not just use a filter, a find in the recipes data to see if it exists, to see if the recipe exists. So I'm saying no, I don't want that change. Propose me a second change and let's see what it proposes. The one thing that happens with Claude is that it's too polite. So if I said, why not you do this, you know, many of the times it's going to just do that. So, you know, instead of doing that, it's just business defined. Defined is you know, it's not doing not anymore the whole thing of like converting it to another stuff. It's just doing define, and that is enough. So let's see what if this shows me the recipes. I want to see the recipes in a day. It's not showing me the recipes, which is frustrating. Okay. So I'm gonna add a new chat, and I'm gonna say same thing. And for those who don't know, you can go to X and follow me there as jvivas_official. I might need to update my handle. That handle is so long, but I used to have another one, and I changed that for jvivas because I don't know why. I thought I had great personal brand of only my kids and my wife know me. So yeah, look at that. Okay, let's see what's going on here. I want to see the data. Show me the data is the only thing that I care. And it's not showing me the data. I have 16 recipes here. It's not showing up. If I add a recipe of Cobb salad, still is not showing up. And that it's frustrating. So the big thing that we can do is you can go okay. It's a little bit frustrating. I don't like it. I don't like that I have to redo and redo it, redo and redo. Yeah, sometimes that's what happens. Your agents don't behave. Okay, let me read see what's happening here. Looking at the code, I notice that the issue is how we are handling the recipes data structure. Yes, we know that the data structure in MillView test we are using recipes map, but not properly matching the recipe interface from the mill cell. Let's fix this. This change ensures that the recipe data structure matches what is expected by both mill cell and MillView components. The recipe map is now properly typed and contains the correct data structure that matches the recipe interface used through the application. So let's see what's happening here. We have the recipe, now we have the type here. I don't see that this is going to work. This is actually a pretty bad change. I don't care about that. I don't care about that interface, to be honest. And this is not going to show anything. Yeah. This is bad. Okay. So for me, this is the issue. This here, this value here in the middle. If I go to the meal plans, the ID for this meal plan is 1, right? Let me change this to 1. That is the issue. Is that the link is containing something that it should not contain. Yeah, it should be containing a 1. Right. So I'm gonna just create a new chat. I don't care. The AI wouldn't have picking up that error at all. At all. It wouldn't have picking up that error at all. And yeah, the current plan ID, and then just use the ID. I don't want this change. I don't know why you want to change it to plan ID. No, keep it as ID. Don't make this change. I don't want this change to happen. that uses plan ID instead of ID. The params are not changing. Params are not changing. So I'm gonna say, let's rerun it. I don't want changes in the there you go. There you go. Apply. There it is. And 100. The meal plan table is doing that. Okay, so all these verbal. What you need to do is, this has a recipe IDs from meal type. The meal recipe IDs are coming from the day meals. The meals are coming from meals, and meals are provided. We need to know, we need to add a parameter inside this component that is the plan ID. So I'm gonna say so the problem we had to deal with was that the freaking URL, the meal plan view was taking it correctly, but it was being generated incorrectly from the table view, and plan ID is not defined. Let's see what's going on. What is the prop that is passing? Is meal plan table, current plant, plan.id. Plan ID is coming in. The interface changed, but he's calling me out. He's telling me I'm wrong. What? How dare you? You meager calculator. How are you telling me that I'm wrong? Let's see. Let's check the code and see what's going on. What is missing here is that the meal plan table props, it contains the correctly definition of the plan ID. But here, I'm gonna actually, I will have to go here and set there you go. I had to be more in your face kind of person, but this now works. So I can see the things I can remove. I can go back and see this one that has 16 things, and it's like, oh man, how are you gonna make this happen? Where is it deleting things from? It's actually adding things. This is funny. Okay, we might need to work on this bug later. Now it has 8 recipes. Oh, interesting. Based on this, I have 0. Okay. For today, for dinner, I have the French toast. I can come and see the recipe, see it here. Very interesting. It would be great to have some sort of like way to see like a preview of the recipe. I think I do have 10-minute cooking. I think 6 servings. Yeah, that weekly view works, but it's kind of weird, isn't it? Let me see if I can make it look better. For me, it looks like it's not at the same level as other things, is it? The recipes look very nice like this, but when I go to the plans, let me see if I can add a new plan. I'm gonna try to fix this bug and then we can call it a day. Again, in the meal planner view, we navigate to a week that does not have any recipes, I can't shows a message that I can't add this to anything. Let's see. Okay, hold on a second. I have a call, so I'll be right back. Right back. Okay, guys, I'm gonna have to cut it off for today. Thank you for coming. I appreciate the support. I'll be sharing on my X account this game, and if you want to see the latest of my meal planner, you can just go to wendelai.com, and there you can access whatever we have done so far. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna actually let me connect to Git to see if I can get the latest thing pushed. Let me see if I can fetch. Let's see if I can sync. I'm gonna confirm this session and see if this can do the trick for me. Okay, seems like everything is up and running. Let me see the latest. Yes. So also you can go to my GitHub to see how they work. You know, if you want to reuse this code for you and start from there, you can just do that. No worries. This is under MIT, so you should be okay. So well, I appreciate the support, and see you all next time. Have a good one. Bye-bye.